Minister Senzo Mchunu, who is on special leave, has taken sole responsibility for ordering the disbanding of the KwaZulu-Natal Political Killings Task Team. He's been testifying before Parliament's ad hoc committee, which is looking into claims of political interference in police investigations. Mchunu maintains he is constitutionally entitled to make such a decision. So for more on his testimony, let's bring in security strategist and retired Interpol ambassador Andy Mashaile. Andy, good morning. Thank you as always. We appreciate your time and your analysis. Welcome to the program. Let's start then with what brought us all here, essentially, the country to this point. This is the disbanding of the PKT, or the instruction or directive to disband the PKTT. Mchunu insisting he did not exceed his powers, nor did he breach the Police Act. It's been a central tension in all of this. What do you make of his responses?
His responses were long-winded. Iman, my sister, and he evasively responded to questions, suggesting some well-guarded moves so that you don't contradict yourself. And as it comes to the argument that you are the minister and you have the power to can establish and de-establish. We listened to the legal expert, the head of legal services at Madanga Commission, you and I, on that particular day. And we learned that the minister has a certain role to play, and the National Commissioner has a certain role to play. The National Commissioner cannot go into the office of the minister and do A, B, C, D, F, G in the same breath. The minister can only look at policy and ensure that all what he does has to do with everything that does not affect the operations. For an example, the minister cannot hop in a marked vehicle and go and arrest Iman and Andy. So these are some of the contestations that we saw yesterday. And at the end of the day, I am not worried about yesterday and today. I am more high-winded in expectations on Tuesday. Yeah. The question and answer session will really rattle the minister.
Well, I wanted to go back because it has been a recurring theme, the ambiguity of police precepts in those boundaries between the role of the National Police Commissioner, the way that he interacts with the Police Minister, and how those two interplay insofar as instructions and directives. We saw that essentially kick off the first day of the Madanga Commission of Inquiry when Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi was giving his testimony in that regard, and then Masemola. As you say, from your perspective, it seems quite clear. But moving then to Tuesday, when that cross-examination will take place, we already have it from the IFP saying that the Popper Sal dance on Tuesday, when the MPs do get the opportunity to grill the suspended police minister, and they have some questions to ask about that particular issue. Let's then move on, Andy, to some of the frameworks that define and direct the way that police work. And this is with regard to the organogram, which he spoke about in regards to the disbanding of the PKTT, the distinction between a task team and a unit. It's drawn some debate about his understanding on this. Was he right, or was he laboring under the wrong misconception?
I definitely laboring under the wrong misconception. Your task teams, I listened to him saying task teams come and go and they have a certain start date, a certain end date informed by the objective or the solution that they are bringing to the problem. Now, here is a special task team that has been established, PKTT, juxtapose it to the special task force, which is a team. Which might be defined as a unit of the South African policing services. So the Special Task Force, the STF, is there permanently with its budget, with its operations, with its successes, with its training. So your understanding as sitting in front of that committee must be informed by real life examples of organizations, or should I say sub-organizations or sub-organized instruments and tools for the effecting of crime prevention, crime combating, and crime detecting activities. So the PKTT is a unit or a force that was established for a specific mission. Now, the minister claimed that that mission was successfully achieved, and therefore he saw no good reason for it to continue because of what he said, the bodies that constitute that PKTT come from various stations. I'm quite familiar with that process. And when you draw out individuals from various stations, you are leaving gaps only for that special operation. When that operation has been achieved, you dismantle the team. I listened also to General Sibia says there are no political killings in Gauteng, and therefore there's no need for a team like that. But long story short, when you look at the areas in your Rand West City, in the West Rand, Iman, we have seen some councillors being killed by people unknown to us meaning the communities in that area. And secondly, we have seen police officers not being in a good enough space, both resources, time and space, to be able to look into the killings of the two councillors in the Rand West City. So it is not correct that there are no political killings after 1994. The definition and the distinction would be killings before 1994 by the apartheid whites-only government, and now post-1994 political killings of those who are holding political office. I think that is the distinction that must be clear.
Well, in closing, I mean, what did you make of his responses overall? You know, again, his testimony was one the country had, in a way, potentially been holding its breath for, because he is, the person that's having multiple fingers pointed at him.
Iman, judging by, as I was out and about yesterday and streaming on YouTube, the live session, judging by the comments of the people there, if one was to take just a wild survey and compile some emotional barometer there, the emotions were very high, and out of the 100% that I was able to watch, 99.9 were actually against the minister in terms of his responses to the questions and the long-windedness. I remember one of them that I saw with many emojis of the flame saying, "Arrest Mchunu." So I think the way and manner in which the first day opened for him did not do him favor with regard to the perceptions that's out there that says he is not a good man to be leading a law enforcement agency. And I can put my head on the block. I don't think the minister will be coming back as the minister.
Oh, that's a big statement to make, Andy Mashaile. Time will tell. Thank you for your time this morning.